Well, I always tell you this show is educational, and every day I'm learning something, and I just realized that I've got a void of knowledge when it comes to nectarines and tangerines. Somebody had said that nectarine basically is very disappointing, and somebody said the nectarine is the peach with no fuzz. Kev, you're thinking about the tangerine, which is your tinier orange, which I would probably put the bunk on the tangerine more, because I think I have had a few tangerines that I felt like this is a smaller orange that packs less of a punch.
I don't know what I've had, but I've peeled them. They've been the color orange, and they've tasted like air. Mm-hmm. What is that?
I think it's just a regular orange. They're the weakest by far.
I don't like that. I want the one that has like punch you in the neck with flavor.
Yeah, I would go Honeybell. That's probably one of the best oranges.
Honeybell
orange.
Okay.
Well, now I know.
Endorsed by Denny.
See, I love nectarines. So when you guys are talking about nectarines, I go, it's so painful because I don't like peaches. And I find nectarines and peaches almost taste the same, except for you don't have to deal with all the fuzz on it. The fuzz just weirds me out.
It is kind of an odd thing. It's like, I shouldn't have to shave my food.
Yeah, it's like felt. It feels like felt.
Oh, I love the fuzz.
Do you? I know. Some people just
love to touch it and play with it.
I can't.
But you feel like a nectarine lives up to the punch?
I like nectarines, but again, everything's seasonal. If you get it in the prime season, nectarines are just popping. And they can be a little lackluster if it's not necessarily in season. Same with watermelon. There's another one that can taste like air if it's not in season.
Yes, you are right. I've had watermelon air before, and it's maddening because it's so expensive.
The hack for that I found is you sprinkle a little salt on it. Oh, it brings out the little flavor that's in there.
Oh, for a little head, Virginia. Look at Denny's.
Not good for your sodium count.
No. Check with your doctor.
How do you take a food that's healthy and now make it bad for you? What do you want? Add butter too?
You're right. That'd definitely knock it up.
Now, this is kind of an odd question, but it comes from an odd story. Does demon possession forgive bad behavior?
Yes.
You think so?
Absolutely. If you are, in fact, possessed by a demon and not drunk.
So Denny's was telling this crazy story he heard from his mom, and it had to do with somebody that was like a neighbor, and it was a relationship squabble that I guess was caused by demon possession, but then it was relieved because he was unpossessed and all was forgiven and it went back to normal.
What the hell's going on over there, Denny's?
Yeah, my mom was returning to her apartment, and on the way in the hallway, her neighbor was sitting on the floor crying. She was crying, and all her possessions were out in the hallway, just scattered.
That is my idea of walking up on a nightmare. There's a person in the hallway crying with all their worldly belongings, like... you can't just walk past that.
Well, so yeah, my mom's stepping over all the stuff, and she's just like, "Are you all right? Is there anything I can do?" You know,
you have to ask. Can I help you?
So she was explaining that her husband was yelling at her, threw her out of the house, was going crazy, doing all this weird, out of character stuff. So my mom invited her to the apartment, and they're drinking tea, and she's just trying to calm her down.
Oh my!
And she's like, "Do you want me to call the police? Do I, do this?" She's like, "No." And then she got a text saying she could go back in the apartment, so she brought all her stuff back in and everything. And I guess it was maybe 2 days later, she was walking, she saw them hanging out just as if nothing had ever happened.
The girlfriend and the possessed guy?
Yeah.
Was he still possessed?
Well, I guess what they did was they contacted their church, they had an exorcism, and now that he's he's unpossessed, he's back to normal. And so he's forgiven.
Do they drink a lot?
My mom was wondering what's going on in this.
Drugs.
But they're in their maybe mid to late 20s. She goes, they look normal again. She's seen them before in the building and never thought anything of it until this one situation. But the woman forgave her husband and everything because it was of possession. It was a completely out of character moment for him, and they are back to normal. So I just is that a forgivable excuse? Would you take that excuse?
If he was legitimately possessed, I guess you have to. But then it's not his fault.
I mean, how do you really know? I know if you lean on that and you're like, I trust whatever the church says, and that he definitely was, if they say he was. What a handy way to just get a mulligan on bad behavior, though.
It's just an Uno winning card, You
know what? At my church, we have a KVJ priest. He listens to the show, and after church on Sunday, I always see him like in the vestibule or walking around outside, and I'm going to ask him when I see him on Sunday, I'm going to say, hey, do you believe in possession? Is that real? Can the devil possess people? And then... is it real that the priest is the only one that can come in and drive the devil out? And then where does the devil go? Does he hop in a new person?
You ever seen that Denzel Washington movie Fallen?
No.
Oh, well, you might like it, but it kind of explains what happens when somebody gets depossessed.
But
is it real?
Okay,
nah, it's a movie.
My problem with this is how fast this happened.
Right.
Because it's almost like a light switch. Like, light switch on, he's possessed, and he throws all of her belongings outside. They bring the priest over. He does an exorcism. Light switch off. Now he's not possessed. He's like, cool again.
Yeah.
It's like the light at Krispy Kreme, hot when flashing.
I didn't think possession worked like that. I thought it was a gradual thing.
I'm going to ask the priest at my church. I'm going to ask him. I'm sure he's heard worse weird questions.
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
And then, where does that possession go? If it jumps out of this dude, is now the devil just looking around for a new body to jump into?
Well, especially at an apartment complex where you got tons of people.
Proximity could be a problem.
And is that something you can only use that excuse one time? And then it's done? Or can you frequently go back to be like, you know that demon that got me a couple weeks ago? Came back. That wasn't me. And then, hey, what do you know? It's gone
He's
again.
called vodka.
Yes.
At that point, I'd be like, what are you smoking?
Oh, yeah.
46% of people in KVJ TV said they would forgive a person's bad behavior if it turned out they were possessed.
I mean, that's almost half and half.
That is almost half and half.
Maybe not a bad excuse.
I just don't know anybody who's ever gone through it. The only thing I've ever seen is movies. And like Denny's just said, it's a movie.
Right.
Well, yeah. And in this situation, it was a 3-day period. You know, it's such a short
Are demons like people? And they all are demons like people, and they all got a different disposition.
I just can't believe this guy got away with this.
Yeah, I mean,
I am flabbergasted.
If he's not formerly possessed by a demon, he is a crafty guy as far as storytelling.
It's the most unbelievable excuse I've ever heard for bad behavior. And what I can't believe is it actually was accepted.
Have you met him? Have you seen him?
I've seen him just walking. We've never engaged.
What does he look like?
They're like in their, I would say maybe 26, 27.
Normal?
They're normal, just a regular couple. I mean,
No horns.
Unbelievable.
Could be influencers. Who knows? They just look like regular people. That's why it was so weird.
One day she's going to look back on this and she'll be like, I cannot believe I forgave him because I thought he was possessed.
Yeah, if he does this again, we don't take a demon back twice.
No, and who knows what he did, before he kicked her out. It could have been crazy. I don't think we got all the details.
I would like the details.
Yeah, I'm going to need frequent updates on this couple. I really got to find out how they're doing.
You're going to need to get over there and sniff around a little bit.
They're right there. They're just like 2 doors down.
We need more dirt.
That is pretty unreal.
Demon dirt.